Good evening, everyone. Welcome into a Miami Hurricanes Live, our Wednesday edition, number 230. Unfortunately, Cam's got some things going on tonight. He had to cancel. I just saw the notice or the email from him just a couple seconds ago. So you're stuck with me for a few minutes. What I'll do is I'm just going to go through the live chat, check out any comments or questions that you have. Keep in mind, that makes our Thursday night show even that much more important. We've got the Wholesome One here Thursday nights at 8 o'clock Eastern time. So catch us Thursday night at 8 Eastern. Of course, Miami's in spring practice. I was just checking out some notes. Nothing that earth-shattering at this point. In particular, of course, with new coordinators teaching a new offense and a new defense. You know, Josh Gaddis made the comment to 247 Sports that hey, this offense could look completely different from what we envision right now to 7 or 8 practices from now, let alone when we tee it up in game number 1. And Josh Gaddis, of course, also coaching the wide receivers. Saw some notes there concerning an interview with Will Mallory after practice. Sounds like he's getting in shape, wants to be in better shape so he can take his best from play to play to play to play during practice, let alone during games. So anyway, let's get to the live chat, see what you got here. Falconer X, appreciate you being here, man. Christo Ballin. You know, I finally caught on to that. Just it's been very recently. Champ 100, good to see you here at the Voice of College Football. Want to keep everyone abreast of what we do here at the Voice of College Football. Maybe you're just locked in on the Miami channel. Well, if you enjoy other college football talk, we've got 25 channels total. We've got Florida State, North Carolina, and Clemson in the ACC. I know you don't want to hear about it, but Florida State, Clemson, North Carolina, and actually Virginia Tech in the ACC. We've got an SEC channel. Check that out, as well as Tennessee, Auburn, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Texas A&M and LSU in the SEC. We've got Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, Wisconsin, Nebraska, Iowa. We've got Oklahoma, West Virginia, and Texas in the Big 12. We've got USC and Oregon. We were live this afternoon with Oklahoma, Ohio State, and Michigan. Also Florida State this morning. So help us grow and build out the network of the Voice of College Football with, of course, hitting the like button, subscribing, and doing all those good things. Falconer X back in here. Super sticker. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate that. Falconer X does not like the orange bowl picture in my face while I'm waiting. Any suggestions for another image? Okay. Send me your suggestions. It's just the, I think it's basically the banner that we have selected for the channel, and then that defaults to any upcoming live stream that we have before I put my beautiful face on the thumbnail, of course. Falconer X, appreciate you being here. Yes, Christo Ballin. Yeah, got my turnover chain. Turnover chain. You haven't retired those? Exploring with Ben, good news for you. We're not going to be distracting you now. Just a short show here with just yours truly behind on my videos now that I have my hard drive back from data recovery. Okay, Exploring with Ben. That's why we haven't seen you. So get cracking on these videos. We are producing, of course, all-time program rankings. So the ACC is probably going to come up next. So maybe I'll release that video on the Miami channel as well. But check out on the main channel, we've got all-time program rankings. We are ranking the programs all time. We've got a great system we came up with, 10 criteria, and the ACC, which is going to be the most interesting thus far because the Pac-12 and the Big 12, as you could guess, blowouts. But the ACC, Clemson's had its period of domination. Miami, not in the ACC, but has had its long period of domination. And, of course, Florida State has had its consistent domination of years and years and years under Bobby Bowden. So between those three and pretty competent programs in Virginia Tech, at least in the last 30 years, North Carolina at times, NC State, Louisville. Should be an interesting, very balanced conference historically. Georgia Tech, they were great in the 50s and at other times in their history. So the outlook for the ACC is going to be interesting to see how those numbers shake out all time. Fred Langston, yo, what's going on, Mark? Long time no see. Miss your live Miami vids. Fred, where you been? Hopefully you can make it back. We're here every Wednesday night at 7 Eastern, Thursday at 8. Fred, hopefully you can catch us on the record if you can't catch us live. Mr. HD, we want you to hop on the Miami wagon, Mark. Don't be left behind. I'm here. I'm here twice a week doing live streams. This is the only team we do 2 per week. Demetrius is here. Yes, Falconer X, there are other teams, so please support. Please support. If you've got it in you to watch more college football content, yes, we've got other live streams and other channels to support. Mr. HD, Miami's the best show on the voice of college football. Exploring with Ben. Oh, we do, Mark. You know, I'm not even a Miami fan, but I still check it out. You're here. Appreciate that. Paul's here as well. Falconer X. There you go, maybe. Hurricane Jason. We've got CJ coming from the Bahamas. Now, that sounds good right about now. I'm buried in snow. Falconer X. Will Mallory post-practice interview today sounded like Miami is headed in the right direction. I thought so as well. Looked like conditioning was being emphasized. That's always a good thing. You're not going to have a championship football team without being in shape, in condition. All these guys are in condition compared to the rest of us walking up and down the street. But they need to be in football, top-level elite condition. Peanut 3844, we're about to take the ACC over. It's our time. I don't see Clemson coming back with how stubborn Dabo is with not using the portal. Yeah, he has been stubborn to date. However, we just did a Clemson record today. It wasn't about the portal, but I believe that they're starting to dabble in the portal a little bit at Clemson. So let's understand that. They had Hunter Johnson come back from Northwestern. The rest of these guys are leaving. So I stand somewhat corrected. They've lost players through the transfer portal for 22. Well, at this point, they've been able to make it. We shall see. 55 in the chat room. Come on, family, hit the like button. Yes, Demetrius, thank you so much for that. Falconer X, you're killing me. 89. That would be a shade higher than I would like it, but I would take it over the 25 today. Paul's here. The young men have all said that the fourth quarter program is the hardest they've worked in the off season. Yep. We do have a eye appointment on March 22nd, I believe. So yes, the glasses got trashed quite a bit a long time ago, and I have not taken care of those, but we will. Exploring with Ben lives in North Dakota, 5 degrees right now. In Houston, currently, it is only 55, which is freezing for them. Fred, hey, Mark, life has been beating me down trying to get back to check out your lives. Anyways, what's your thoughts on what the program is doing at this point? Okay, Fred, I hope everything's okay. By the sound of it, I hope you're just busy. Being busy and then having bad things happen are two different things. So hopefully you're just busy and not dealing with too much in life, but I appreciate the question. Well, like I've said a few times, this program just went out and hired a head coach who is, aside from Mark Richt, and I've explained that situation before and my perspective on that situation. So we're going to put that aside because Mark Richt could certainly have been successful here. And to date, obviously, has a much more impressive track record than Mario Cristobal. So let's put Mark Richt aside because he obviously was highly successful at Georgia, build a top 10 program. And he actually did build that program. He had a lot of resources, yes, but Georgia was not Georgia before Mark Richt. They had come through a down 10 or 12 years. So Mark Richt was a great hire by Miami, just was not a good time in his life. And he made one bad decision in regards to the family legacy. Okay, Mark Richt aside, every coach after Butch Davis that has been hired by this football program, look at what it's been. Every coach has been unsuccessful before Miami and after Miami. They have not hired a coach, and that's Shannon, Golden, to a certain extent, even though he won a national championship, that's Coker, Shannon, Golden, and now Diaz. Never accomplished anything as a head coach before Miami or after Miami. So they obviously have not hired well at head coach. Mario Cristobal, though, you can argue that in his 3 to 4 years at Oregon has been a top 10 coach in the country. So I don't want to call it a home run hire, but something close to one. And then the two coordinator hires, I'm not necessarily quite as high on Josh Gaddis as maybe some others are. I'm also not as down on him as others are that think that he just kind of piggybacked off of the Jim Harbaugh offense. I think that he brought innovation and ideas to that offense, which basically took a run-oriented offense. This is why I think Josh Gaddis is such a good fit for Miami. Mario Cristobal, Jim Harbaugh, cut out of the same cloth when it comes to offensive-minded football, leaning on the running game and the offensive line. Okay, so you're going to see a power running game out of Miami, very similar to Michigan, but Gaddis brought the bells and whistles. He brought the innovation on the outside, playing guys in space, getting the ball out to guys in space quickly, doing all those things from a creative standpoint that complemented the power running game. And I think he'll do the same at Miami and may eventually have better wide receivers and has a better quarterback to be more effective at Miami. Kevin Steele's a first-rate defensive coordinator. Man, Charlie Strong, that is probably the hire that most underlines where Miami is today versus what Miami was even 6 months ago, when you can get a guy the caliber of Charlie Strong, who's been a successful head coach, albeit not at Texas, of course, but at Louisville, and one of the best defensive minds in the game to be your linebackers coach. You've got one of the top 3 to 5 quarterbacks in the nation. We're only basing that on 8 to 9 games played, which I think is a small sample size, but still, I think it was enough. He had 2 marginal games to start his career, and then once he got rolling and cleaned up the mistakes, man, he was throwing for 350 and 3 to 4 touchdowns every week. Beat the 2 best teams in the conference other than Clemson, probably, NC State and Pitt. It all looks good. It all looks good. Die Hard says that the spring practice has a different feel. Players look bigger, better, also bigger, ripped. Yeah, and that's what you want to see, because Miami's had tremendous athletes and really good top 20, top 15 to 25 caliber athletes. But man, when you go to that elite level, there's just something that's just even beyond that big time college football body shape. When you see the Alabama players, for example, get off the bus, and that's what Miami's trying to get to. Demetrius, appreciate you encouraging others to hit the like button. It's not a big deal, but it is a big deal. So it's not a big deal for you. It just click, you're done. But it's a big deal for the channel. It's a big deal for this show. When we get like 3,000 views on these videos, shouldn't we get like half the people to at least like the video? We should get like 1,500 likes on a video. We get like 100, I'm guessing. Like if I look at our last live stream, where we probably have 3,000 views. This is pretty sad. Our last live stream. Can't see it there. We've got over 3,200 views, 3,300 views, 417 likes. That's like 12% of the people like the video. 12%? Think we could do better than that. Thank you, Raymond or Ramon. I apologize if I screwed that. It's probably Raymond, right? If it's Ramon, I apologize. Yeah, Jason Taylor. Wow. Hall of Fame defensive end. And it appears as though you're getting a guy that doesn't necessarily have a long history in coaching himself. Is this his first coaching job? Not familiar with what Jason Taylor's done since he left the Dolphins as a player. But anyway, but just a guy that can relate to the players, obviously commands respect immediately because he's a Hall of Fame player. And then he can learn to be a great coach. Die Hard Diesel, thank you so much for doing that. Appreciate everybody being here. And again, we apologize because Cam had to bow out. Everything's fine. Just had to bow out, had other obligations. That's a good question there. Peanut 3844. Why hasn't JT hired for the defensive end job? Based on the last video there, Falconer X, 88% of the people who watched the videos did not hit the like button. We'll be back, everyone. We got 92 on the line. I know we've only been on for 16 or 17 minutes. I may answer a few other questions, make a few other comments. I want to draw everyone to our all-time program rankings. I think it's a great series. I don't know if you guys are into those sorts of things, but I'm sure some of you are. So we've released the Pac-12 and the Big 12 over on the main channel, our all-time program rankings. Like I said a few minutes ago, I believe that the ACC is going to be the most interesting, with Clemson's run of dominance, Miami's run of dominance, Florida State's consistency of dominance, 80s and 90s into the 2000s, and then North Carolina, Virginia Tech being really good programs at different times. Louisville, of course, NC State. I just think it's going to be the most balanced and competitive conference to look at. Alabama's going to own the SEC, and Ohio State's going to own the Big Ten, with Michigan being right there. And also want to let you guys know that we've got a Discord. Let's get to Falconer X here. Falconer X, Mario is a recruiting beast. So it appears. Yes. Alabama and the work at Oregon, and now what he's done in a month. After leaving his mother's funeral, he went to recruit a player who was not committed and got the commitment. 4-star offensive lineman. There it is. Jake, I'd put Miami's defensive coaching staff up against anyone's in the nation. We have top tier defensive coaching staff. We talked about that with Cam. And by all measurements, yes. I haven't gone through everybody's coaching staffs top to bottom, but some of the better ones that I can think of in terms of defensive minds, Jim Knowles going from Oklahoma State to Ohio State, or Derek Mason leaving Auburn to go to Oklahoma State. I can't imagine that they've got the staffs under them that have Charlie Strong and Jason Taylor and on down the line. Yep. And you guys stay with me, even though I'm a Buckeyes fan. Look at that. See, you can't even tell. I posted a video the other day, and this goes to show you how people's minds work, and then also that we hopefully are hitting the mark of being unbiased, neutral, providing fair analysis. Same video, back-to-back comments. One accused me of being an Ohio State homer. The next guy accused me of being a Michigan homer. Same video. They watched the same thing. Falcon Rex, yes, you uncovered the mystery. If you hit the like button, an Indian Price will split his fortune with you. I believe that would be a prince. Yes, Indian Prince. That is true. That is true. And then if you give a super chat or a super sticker like you do, Falcon Rex, and that's why you do it all the time, man, we don't even want to give out what happens to you and what good fortune you run into if you do that. Exploring with Ben, people are afraid to hit the like button on some videos for some reason. Really? Afraid? That's kind of odd. But we've got a Discord. If you guys are unfamiliar with that, it's just like a big chat room. So we started our Discord 2 weeks ago, and you can talk Miami football there all the time. Now, you got to realize that we've got, as it stands right now, a Big Ten channel, an ACC channel, an SEC channel, Big 12, and a Pac-12 channel, then a national channel. So if Miami gets enough traffic, then we would just make you can do pretty much anything you want in regards to the chat rooms and what they're called channels. And so if we get enough Miami traffic, we would just, boom, just do a Miami channel. When we've got big games coming up in the fall, we will just, when it's Miami Florida State week, we'll make a Miami Florida State channel that you guys can trash talk and talk up the game. And so what you need to do is you go to Patreon, patreon.com, search MarkRogersTV, sign up right there. I get you the link. We've got 50 in there right now. We just started 2 weeks ago. We already have 50 people online talking college football. I jump in once a day at least to see what everybody's talking about and to join the conversation. Falcon Rex, Mark Rogers has a secret underground shrine to the U. And right now I'm looking at the trap door. Yes. Miami 21, Hurricanes 10-2. 10-2 with the most likely losses would be Clemson and Texas A&M, or maybe a split against those two and they trip up against somebody that they shouldn't lose to. What's really odd about the chat tonight is on my screen, it gets stuck. I can't see like the most recent couple comments. But then it keeps going and then I can eventually see it, but I can't see the most recent few. Again, we apologize for Cam not being here tonight. Everything's fine. He just couldn't make it tonight. He contacted me about 5 o'clock, but I had back-to-backs and did not see it until right before we came on tonight. So we'll be back Thursday night at 8 with a wholesome one. So be looking out for that. Mobile for Life, BW. Going undefeated is a huge long shot. Is it possible? Yeah, there's nobody on the schedule that Miami cannot beat. They could go to Texas A&M and win. I give them a 25% chance of going to Clemson or I give them a 25% chance of going to each one and winning. So they probably, what's that? More like a 50% chance. What is that? 45 to 50% chance of winning one of those two games. Knox King 94. Okay, sure. I thought it was going to be something good for me when I started to read that comment. Falcon Rex, tomorrow night, Thursday night, we'll have the wholesome one here. I am going to go talk some Texas football here in a few minutes. Okay, Mr. HD. Let's keep in mind, last season I picked Miami to go 9-3, and they let me down at 7-5. The 8-3 year in 2020, I did pick that. I nailed that. Perfect. 8-3 in 2020. 2019, I picked Miami to go 8-4, and I got lambasted here for picking Miami to lose 4 games. And of course, they went 6-6. So that's the last 3 years track record. I can't remember before that, but last year I picked 9-3, 7-5 was the result. Nailed the 2020 season 8-3. Then the year before I went 8-4. So I'm 4 games. I am overestimated Miami by 4 games. Okay, Mr. HD, you're going to make up for it. Yeah, my early estimation would be right there with Die Hard, I think, at 9-3. But we will see. We will see. Going to save on that prediction for right now. I think I picked Miami at number 16 in my preseason way too early top 25. I think that was my slot for them, if I remember. Yeah, Mitchell, look at that. What happens if Jake beats out TVD in the spring? Whoop. And again, Discord, Patreon, MarkRogersTV. Based on what TVD accomplished last year, I got to think, to imagine what Jake Garcia would have to play like and what TVD would have to play like to offset what TVD proved in actual games against teams like Pitt and NC State and Florida State and on down the line, you got to think that's not going to happen. It's not like it's impossible, but so highly unlikely. All right, folks, we appreciate you all being here. And again, we do our Miami shows on Wednesday night at 7, Thursday, 8 Eastern. Typically have our analyst here. Cam had to bow out tonight. Everything's fine. We got the wholesome one coming up on Thursday. And so I think we'll check out. I got some more work to do. We'll be back tomorrow night, Thursday, 8 Eastern. Bring some folks with you. There you go, Falconer X. Everyone should donate. I watch other schools' channels, and it seems like Miami has to be near the top. Hey, good point, Falconer X. I have made this comment a number of times, so everybody listen to me right here because it involves you. Miami fans, you guys are the best. It's not even close. And I'm not just saying this because the numbers back me up. I could go through the numbers if I had some kind of accountant. You Miami fans give more to the voice of college football than any other fan base. You do. That's all there is to it. It's not even close. So Miami fans, I got to say, you either just are crazy about the content, or you're just generous people, you're good-hearted people, or you understand the business and you understand that if you want to keep this going, that you have to give to a certain extent. I think you understand all of that. So you're good, kind, generous people who love the content and who understand business. I think that's it. Falcon Rex, it's not near the top. Miami is the top. Zachary, yes, we cut a Tennessee content segment just 2 days ago, but Falconer X, yes, this is fun. Zachary, so we've got a Tennessee channel. Yeah, check it out. Voice of College Football Tennessee. We only have about 150 subs. We had Charlie Burris on the other day from A to Z Sports, and he joins us on a regular basis. We did the offense. We broke down the offense. We broke down the Tennessee defense to preview spring practice. So check out those videos. They're on the Voice of College Football SEC channel and on the Tennessee channel. All right, everyone. We will see you on Thursday night at 8. Once again, my apologies, but we'll be back Thursday at 8 with Wholesome One. See you right here. And in the meantime, head on over to the main channel. Check out our program rankings, all-time program rankings. See you Thursday.